All right, so real quick in this video, I wanted to talk about Joe Biden. And some of the things that I'm going to say probably going to trigger a lot of you guys based off of the vibes I get and what I see here. But I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be honest with you. Joe Biden has gotten more accomplished as president than any president that I can remember in my lifetime, and even slightly before my lifetime. I mean, if you just look at it, just look at the facts. If you start with Richard Nixon and just move up, there's no comparison to Joe Biden's accomplishments. I mean, think about it. Richard Nixon's presidency was a complete disaster, full of madness and crime, similar to what we've seen here with Trump, right? After Richard Nixon, you got Gerald Ford, okay? Now, the problem I have with Gerald Ford is that you pardoned Richard Nixon.
Finally, I feel that Richard Nixon and his loved ones have suffered enough and will continue to suffer no matter what I do, no matter what we, as a great and good nation, can do together to make his goal of peace come true.
I don't think he should have did that. I think that there's always an excuse when it comes to holding powerful people accountable. And Gerald Ford gets an F for what he did with Richard Nixon, in my book. You have Carter. Now, James Carter, Jimmy Carter, whatever you want to call him, probably the greatest environmental president that we've ever had. He was also a moral guy. He had ethics. He was truthful. I kind of like Carter a little bit, looking at his presidency. And after Carter, you had Reagan. Now, Ronald Reagan is this person that the right loves to put up high. They love to champion Reagan like he was just this great president, when in reality, he was horrible for all of us. He deregulated the industries, right? So he just let them just took the ropes and chains off of them. Y'all go and do what you want, make money, okay? If people die, we'll figure it out. He also exploded the deficit. He increased the deficit tremendously under his administration. Ronald Reagan was also a union buster. This guy wanted to break the unions. For a lot of y'all seem to not understand that unions are for us, the working people, the people that get up and work every day. That's us. That's our stuff. Don't give me this union corruption crap, because that's a Republican rich person talking point, all right? After Reagan, you had Bush Sr. Bush Sr. didn't do anything for us. Bush Sr. did nothing for us. He passed nothing. And what he did was he got us into a war. Now, to repair his image, they say, oh, well, he, created a coalition around the world that came together and fought this war. Not anything to brag about, okay? After Bush Sr., we get Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was the president under the dot-com bubble, which the economy was doing really well because of that. It had nothing to do with Clinton. Clinton didn't do things to make the economy better. He just was in office at the right time, okay? Also, Clinton did the deregulation thing. He was kind of like a Republican almost, with the crime bill and the deregulations. So, yeah, anyway, after Clinton, we get G-Dub, or George W. Bush. Those of us that remember the Bush presidency remember how the country was when he left office, and it was a wreck. It was not as bad as what it was when Trump left office, but it was a wreck. George W. Bush ran the deficit up. George W. Bush got us into 2 wars, okay? And he was frankly a war criminal for it. He lied about the causes and the reasons for going to war. After Bush, we get Obama. Now, Obama managed what they call the Great Recession, which was caused by George W. Bush. And That was a tough time economically. He had to make a lot of decisions. But on top of it, he also put in the American people's minds the idea of a national health care service, which is what we need here in this country. We're the only developed country without one, right? And if you listen to the right wingers, they try to make you believe like that's a good thing. It's not, okay? Thanks to Obama in that regard, he put that into the ether, and I think it was a positive thing that he did there. After Obama, you have Trump. Trump was a disaster. He was horrible. He was horrible with COVID. He managed COVID, just a disaster. He got on TV and was giving medical advice.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. So we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful. I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure. You know, that if you could. And maybe you can, maybe you can't. Again, I say maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not a doctor.
Trump lied about everything. Everything he did was a lie. He didn't build the wall. He got nothing accomplished. The only bill he got passed was a tax cut for the rich. He shot the deficit up. These people who claim to be fiscal conservative shot the deficit up again. Okay? Trump is a disaster. He stormed the Capitol. He had these people storm the Capitol, talking about stop the steal and hang Mike Pence. And
if Mike Pence doesn't have the courage to do what he has to do, then if Mike Pence can do the right thing, then I become president again, and you're the happiest people in the world.
What kind of weird madness is that? That is weird. Get Trump out of here, okay? And frankly, I don't know. I won't say he should go to jail, but I do want these criminal trials to come out fairly. I want the stuff to come out fairly, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. Okay? And then you have Biden. Biden has probably been the best president that we've had in the last 50 years, and I'm going to tell you why. Joe Biden rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement, which is important. The health of the planet and our environment is critical. You got historical low unemployment under Biden-Harris administration. Biden-Harris gave you the bipartisan infrastructure plan, which it put money into infrastructure projects around the country, which we desperately needed, right? The PACT Act, which benefited veterans. The Republicans are against the veterans. They always talk bullcrap when it comes to us veterans. Okay? They're not for us. They're always trying to take away benefits. They're always trying to hurt the VA. They're always attacking veterans on the low. Why do veterans keep getting behind the Republicans when the Republicans have been against the veterans forever? Please wake up, my veteran brothers and sisters. Okay? After that, you get the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. It was the only thing that was done in response to this gun violence that we have that's just off the chain in every state, everywhere you go in this country. At least he tried to do something with that. Okay? He passed the Respect for Marriage Act, which protected LGBTQ plus people, interracial marriages, and etc. He protected them. Okay? They're human beings. They're Americans. I don't care what you think and what your religious views are. They're Americans and they're human beings, and this is a free country. They should be protected like everyone else. All right? He put in the first black female Supreme Court justice. Joe Biden just tearing down walls, if you ask me. He rallied the world against Vladimir Putin to help Ukraine. The Republicans want to help Putin. It's what it seems like. The Republicans want Putin to just keep invading those countries and getting stronger and powerful. Their policies don't do anything but make Russia and China more powerful. But they lie to their constituents and they lie to the people as if they're doing something against those people, as if they're taking a stand against those people. He passed executive orders that protected reproductive rights for women. Okay, the Republicans want to take away, they want to control women, period, to this day. They don't want women to vote, and they don't want women to have control of their bodies. He gave us student debt relief. The SAVE plan has been amazing. I benefit from that. I benefit directly from that because my student loans are so high, I can barely pay them. So yeah, getting in the SAVE program, it almost made my eyes water up to see how much I was going to be saving. He ended the war. The Afghanistan war, which was the longest war that this country has ever been in. He ended it. Okay? He ended it. He got our people out of there. He gave $15 minimum wage to federal workers. They got federal workers out here working for nothing. He kicked their minimum wage up to $15, and that still ain't livable, but at least it's something because these people want you to work for nothing. He ended the war on weed. They wanted to still bury people over marijuana here in this country. And alcohol is what's killing people. Meth is what's killing people. Fentanyl is what's killing people. People smoke marijuana, get something to eat, have a good conversation, and go to sleep. So I'm glad Biden did that. So let me just say this. Just that small, and there's many other things, too, that this guy's gotten accomplished with Vice President Harris over the last 3-something years. Share this video with people who are uneducated on the matters, who have no idea. Maybe something I said in this video will spark a brain cell.